Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 66. Today we're going to look at the difference between believe and believe in. I've often noticed a lot of students of ESL, English their second language, a lot of times they'll use believe when they should be using believe in. But let's clearly look at them. Now, believe, of course, is the more common one. We hear this all the time. Even though believe in is pretty common too. But let's look at believe. The first definition, to think that something someone has said is true. This is the most common definition of believe. Or to think that a fact is correct. These are the definitions I want to focus on with believe, because they're the ones related to believe in. So let's look at the first example. I believe what she said. Jane wouldn't lie. So again, you believe that what she told you is the truth. Or number two, I don't believe that theory. It sounds ridiculous to me. Meaning, you don't think that this theory is correct. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't seem reasonable, so you say you don't believe it. Okay, good. All right, now let's look at believe in, because believe in is the one that you have to focus on more here. Believe in, all right, the first one. To have faith in or feel confident about somebody or something. That's one way that we use believe in. Or to think that an idea or way of doing something is correct or right. That's the second way. Or to think that somebody or something exists. And that's the one I want to focus on the most. That's the last one. But let's look at it. Let's look at the first one. I used to believe in that charity organization until I found out that less than 20% of the donations it receives actually goes to help the poor. So this goes back to the first one of to have faith in or feel confident about. Maybe this charity organization used to have a very famous name for a long, long time. And you thought, oh, they must have their act together. They know what they're doing. They're the ones you should give the money to. And they have the best reputation for the longest time. But again, that's what they mean. Maybe you lost your faith, and so you don't believe in them anymore, meaning you don't have faith in them anymore, or you don't feel confident with them anymore. We could say that. You could even say that about a politician. Maybe you liked this politician, and then maybe there was many scandals or many disappointments. You could say you don't believe in him anymore. You don't believe in his ideas or his policies or what he was claiming that he was going to do or what he stood for. So we could say it in that sense too. So to believe in means have faith in or feel confident about. Okay. Number two, all right, let's look at the second example. I believe in the institution of marriage. Yeah, that pretty much follows the second definition here for believe in, meaning to think that an idea or way of doing something is correct or right. Maybe you think marriage is a very good institution, that most people should do it. Maybe it's better for people, better for society, something like that. Then you would say that you think it is correct or right. Okay, look at the third one. I don't believe in horoscopes. Okay, well, in this sense, maybe you don't believe in the idea of horoscopes, or you don't believe in actually it's related to the science of astrology. Maybe you don't believe it's really correct or it's really true in that sense too. So that probably goes back closer to the second one again. All right, let's look at the third one. To think that something exists. All right, there's a lot of ones, and this is the one that I think students make even more mistakes on with than any others. So what you should say with number four is, I believe in God. You might hear a student say, I believe God. So if you say, I believe God, then it suggests that you talk to God, and that what God told you was the truth. That's very different, where most of the time they want to say that they believe in God. They want to say that they believe God exists. Or you could use the same thing with all these other ones, and there's even more. Maybe they say, I believe aliens. If you say you believe aliens, again, it would suggest that you actually talk to some aliens, and that you think that what they told you is the truth. Where you want to say that you believe in aliens, or, maybe some kids, that child still believes in Santa Claus. They still think Santa Claus really exists. Again, if you say you believe Santa Claus, it would mean that you think Santa Claus is telling you the truth. Same thing with ghosts. If you say, I believe ghosts, then it means that you talk to ghosts and you think the ghosts are telling you the truth. But what you should be saying, I believe in ghosts. You believe that ghosts exist, that ghosts are real. Right, this is the case. So that's the one I want to focus on the most, because that's where I find a lot of students making mistakes. They're using believe when they should be using believe in here. But it's good to note all of these other definitions and uses too. So again, remember, if we say to believe, believe is the idea that what somebody has told you is the truth, or to think that something is correct, or that it is fact. Believe in, meaning have faith in or have confidence in. To think that a certain idea or a certain theory or something is right or correct, or to think that somebody or something exists. Well, I hope that clarifies it. I hope you can clearly see when you should be using believe in and believe. Thank you for